You're listening to the Flashbang Gaming Podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 10 of the Flashbang Gaming Podcast. I'm your host Joe and I'm joined today by my co-host Edwards. Say hi.
It's number 10!
It's number 10. We actually made it to number 10. How crazy is that?
Man, that means we're a slightly below average podcast because we haven't quit before double figures. We did it. We've done it.
When we started this podcast, I'm going to be honest, I thought, we're only going to get 2 episodes in and that's about it. And then we'll just call it a day.
Not gonna lie, those episodes were big suck as well.
They did suck, to be honest. At the time I thought it was absolutely brilliant and then I listened to it 2 weeks later and I just thought, nah.
At the time we thought we were bloody incredible. We were like, why are we not on IGN yet? What is happening? Then I realised,
why would you want to be on IGN?
Oh yeah, then I suddenly thought, wait, there's nothing good on IGN apart from Prepare to Try. To plug the Prepare to Try, go watch it, it's great. But anyway, how have you been this week?
Oh, it's been absolutely fantastic.
Seeing as I haven't talked to you all week because I've been a busy bonds.
This is the first time we're actually speaking to each other in a week.
Yeah, so this is going to be a terrible episode.
Not really. There's a lot to talk about. There is a lot to discuss in this episode.
Yay. I like things. I like things a lot. They make me feel funny inside, and when there's stuff to talk about, makes me feel good. Shall we begin?
I think we should begin before we start losing your mind. Anyway, let's get into our first segment, and actually our only segment of the podcast, and that is the Roundtable.
It's the Roundtable where we debate the biggest gaming topics.
Only on Flashbang Gaming Podcast. Welcome to the Roundtable. I'm tired. Let's go.
Okay.
If I sound quiet, you can go eat ass, because I need to sit away from my mic, because I don't have a spit dish this week, because I'm an idiot.
Keep over-pronouncing your P's. Should we just get into our first topic?
Play the video game!
Our first topic of this episode is first-person shooter games may possibly cause brain damage. What do you think of that?
Well, have you not seen FaZe Clan? They don't play COD anymore, they daily vlog, so obviously it has caused some brain damage.
That was a good one, I like that one.
Oh, yeah, they all just live with rice gum now.
I looked at the comments.
Some brain damage going on.
Yeah, I looked at the comments of the article, they just go, well, I'm not really surprised to be honest, you just have to look at the Call of Duty chat.
Just look at Optic and FaZe Clan. 2 giants of the Call of Duty community reduced to making diss tracks on YouTubers.
So in case you have not heard the news already, a few scientific studies have been published recently, apparently relating to the fact that gamers that play first-person shooters are more likely to be a bit more dumber than people that play platformers. Now that comes to no surprise at all. I didn't really describe that article very well, did I?
Well, no, you didn't. Because that just made it sound like, oh yeah, first-person shooter players are going to jam their controllers into their head until they damage their brain. That's what you made it sound like.
Yeah.
But I don't know where they're getting that from. Because they're both video games. Yeah, like, first person is from the point of view of the character you're controlling, and the platform is obviously it's a 2D view or sometimes a 3D view if you're playing something like Crash Bandicoot or Mario 64. But they're both video games. They both could still cause brain damage. Why is it being pinned on first person shooters?
Well, this is why they're going to pin it. They're trying to pin it on first person shooters. This is what they had to say. So upon the investigation, they did 100 people. So they took a sample of 100 people, 51 men and 46 women. Wow, that's a bit sexist, isn't it?
Wow, sexist!
And they got them to play a variety of popular shooting games like Call of Duty, Killzone, Borderlands 2.
Killzone's not popular!
It was for about 5 minutes. As well as other 3D games such as Super Mario, for a total of 90 hours. And this is what they found.
Wait, they played for 90 hours? No, that's actually a decent amount of time. That's a decent amount of time.
Imagine 90 hours of Killzone. Unthinkable.
Oh god, that game doesn't even last 90 hours. That's the story of the newest Killzone, so it's like 10.
10 hours. They got to replay it 9 times because they need to collect that data.
God. I hope it got harder each time, otherwise I would have offed myself.
They should have done that. They should have started easy and then just progressed through the difficulty.
It's like first play the game on easy, then play on medium, then play on hard, then play on hardest, and then like have some custom difficulty suicide. I don't know what I'm saying.
You don't know what you're saying, and I need to finish reading this verse.
I quit.
He has indeed resigned. Anyway, upon finding the investigation, upon studying obviously these 100 people, they found that the grey matter in their brains shrunk. That's not even the correct word. Decrease over time as they played these first-person shooters.
Yeah, because you don't really need to use your brain when playing a first-person shooter. You need 3 buttons: fire, aim down sight, and jump. That's sometimes usually, like, if you're playing something like Serious Sam, you don't need a crouch button. I love
how the first example you picked out was Serious Sam.
Yeah, because it's the only good first-person shooter.
I take that back. That's going to cause a lot of anger.
No, I take it back. Reddit, put your knives away.
Twitter, I'm looking at you.
Facebook, they're fine. Facebook's full of washed-up Vine stars. It's fine. Actually, no, that's YouTube. What am I talking about?
What they also found when they played these first-person shooters was it increased the chances of having visual short-term memory and also decreasing the visual attention span.
Like, modern-day first-person shooters aren't exactly the most engaging games. If you gave them something like Destiny to play, they'd probably fall asleep.
Now, before you guys are all listening to this podcast and start screaming your heads off, there is some good news because they found that actually what makes this study different from other games, from other studies where they say that video games causes violence, complete nonsense, is that if you play platformers, good news, these things do not affect you at all. In fact, it increases your spiritual awareness.
Wow, that's...
and an increases
spiritual awareness.
That's what they say.
Oh god, people take video games way too seriously. They're bleep bloops on a screen, for God's sake.
So now I've read that, what do you think of the study?
Well, I don't think it proves anything because
they do say more study needs to be conducted as usual.
Well, yeah, but again, modern day first person shooters aren't exactly the most engaging things in the world.
So you're trying to say that because the effects it has on the brain is literally just down to the fact that first person shooters are just not entertaining.
Well, it's because they're all really generic now. There's like what am I trying to say? Holy shit.
You cannot speak.
I can't talk today.
You cannot speak today.
Look, I'm just waiting for Total Biscuit to buy us out at this point. We're awful at this.
10 episodes, we have not improved one bit.
From humble beginnings.
Do you want to start that again?
Like, the most original shooter to come out in like the last year is probably the Doom. And even then, that's just a rehash of something that came out in the 90s that was new. But shooters now are all the same. Especially like
this isn't about the fact that all shooters are the same. Let me finish. This is not going very well.
Train wrecks.
I watched a video about a year ago on the state of first person shooters, and it was so true how back in like 2004 when Half-Life 2 got released. I'm going to bring up Half-Life 2 because this is a great example.
Dude, that game sucks.
Reddit, Twitter.
Dude, no, I'm sorry, that game actually sucks.
What, Half-Life 2?
Dude, I think it's boring as fuck.
You have obviously not played all of it.
I've played enough to figure out that I don't like this.
No, but there's one thing you're going to have to agree on with me, is that it doesn't tell you what to do. There's no pop-ups on screen saying, go here, here's your objective. You have to figure everything out yourself.
That's one good thing. I just don't really, I don't enjoy how it plays very much. I'm not the biggest fan of the Source engine.
Okay. That is your opinion, and this is my opinion.
But Team Fortress 2, oh, that's good. Ooh, mwah, that's that, oof. And Portal.
But when you was playing the story for Half-Life 2, you cannot agree any further that it's nothing like first-person shooters these days in terms of here's your objective, and it just pretty much just tells you exactly what to do. Half-Life 2, you actually had to use your brain and you had to figure out stuff and use physics to your advantage. What do we get these days?
There's like mini-maps and waypoints everywhere. Like there's so much clutter on the HUD. There's like everywhere you look on the screen, there's something that detracts your attention from what you're playing. Like you'll be shooting something and then suddenly a pop-up will come up like, "Yo, you ranked up," and it's like, oh my god.
And when you
like whenever you rank up a Call of Duty, it's like dun dun dun. And you're like, this is so distracting.
That is the worst impression of the rank up sound I've ever heard.
I don't remember what it is. Call of Duty's big suck.
Big suck.
I don't know. I haven't played a Call of Duty since Black Ops 2. For all I know, it could be my grand's farts versus rank up noise now.
Grand's fart. Oh dear. We just can't have a proper discussion.
Oh man. Call of Duty sucks. Anyway, let's continue.
So here's my take on this verdict. If I'm that's not even how you that's not
verdict. Oh, please buy us out, Polaris.
This is my okay. Let me rephrase that. This is my overall opinion on this. I don't mind this study at all. They do say they need more research. I'll see it when I believe it. I do agree that in some cases that these days first-person shooters just does not require you to use your brain that much anymore compared to the old first-person shooters.
Do you just put the game on normal and it's like, I got all the achievos. That's it. Like, the only people who play first-person shooters, like, campaigns anymore are achievement hunters. So, hi, Rooster Teeth. That's it. Oh, man. I hate video games sometimes. I don't know why they need to do so many studies on them. They're just bleep bloops on a screen. It's just something that you give your kid for 10 minutes so they stop crying.
Well, our money's covering the news because they say that this is some credibility in this study, which is true. In some ways I can sort of see it, but I'll see it when they've actually got better results. Let's move on to our second topic of the roundtable, and that is as follows. Should game developers be more honest and open about DLC and microtransactions?
Yeah, they should, but they won't ever be. They need to make money.
The only reason why I'm covering this is because we have seen a trend over the last year that developers, when they release these big, massive AAA games, not even AAA games, just any
Electronic Arts,
mostly in again as we talk about the first-person shooter.
Star Wars Battlefront. Well, that flopped. Why? Because everything was DLC.
Your impressions are on point for this episode. The reason why I'm bringing this question up, we've seen a trend over the last year in terms of developers. They say, "Oh, we won't be including any microtransactions at all in these games." The game comes out a month later. We are putting microtransactions into these games.
Like EA at E3 were like, "Yo, all expansions for Battlefront 2 will cost no money. I bet within a month they'll be like, oh, this game sold like crap. Oh, give us money, please. The 10 people who bought this."
And we're also seeing an evolution of microtransactions as well, when they say, right, it's only going to be cosmetic only. 2 months later, you know what? Let's throw in a few weapons in there. Let's just to see what sales we get.
All right. The game who do microtransactions the best is Path of Exile. That game is free to play, has microtransactions, but they are legitimately only cosmetic microtransactions. You can't buy stuff to level up. You can't buy any items to make you stronger. You can only pretty much buy stuff that make you look cool. That's how microtransactions should be. That's how they should be. Because you're buying stuff to make you look cool. You're not buying stuff to make you OP so you get to level 90 in 3 hours. For World of Warcraft, you pay 30 quid and whoa, you're almost max level. That completely defeats the object for the people who've played World of Warcraft for billions of hours since it came out. Path of Exile do microtransactions the best. Everyone go check that game out. It's fantastic. It's just got a new expansion, which is free.
Just to ask you quickly.
Yes.
Path of Exiles. Did the developers say before the game was released that they will include cosmetic-only microtransactions?
No idea, but at the moment, from what I see, there's nothing that makes someone OP to buy. It's only stuff that give you shiny, glossy dragon wings and stuff that looks cool, and it costs a couple of quid out of your Steam wallet. It's brilliant! The expansion they brought out this week put in 3 new acts to the story, and it's all no monies. It's all free. It's great. It's brought so many people back because the Path of Exile was made by old Diablo devs, right?
Yeah.
Diablo 3, you've got to pay 10 quid to unlock a new class. That's dumb!
£10 to unlock a new class?
Well, no, I don't know if it's actually £10, but you definitely have to pay money to get new classes. It's ridiculous. Then Path of Exile is oh, we see Diablo 3, we'll make Diablo 3 again, but make it better. And free!
I'm not against cosmetic only transactions. I'm against
Me neither.
I'm against developers saying that there won't be any microtransactions at all, then put microtransaction into the game, and then say, you know what, we're not going to do cosmetic anymore. We're going to expand on these microtransactions and actually say, right, as what you just said, you need to pay up money if you want another class in the game to give you an advantage.
That's stupid. There's more people playing Path of Exile and Diablo 2 than Diablo 3.
And that's when you know the sequel sucks.
Man, well, the third game is usually the worst, so... Man, Path of Exile's so good. You gotta play that game, dude. It's so good.
So there we have another promotion by Edwards McDougall.
I'm not even getting paid for this. I've promoted... what have I promoted? I promoted Prepare to Try on IGN, promoted Path of Exile, I inadvertently promoted the Co-optional Podcast, which is way bigger than we will ever be.
Why do you keep saying about the I can't even speak anymore. Podcast. I'm just going to say the podcast.
What? The podcast. Yes. I really like to promote the podcast. No, I really like the Co-optional Podcast. I listen to it every week. It's fantastic.
Okay. Thank you very much. This isn't a podcast about I like to listen to the podcast.
I need to get paid. Toe Biscuit, pay me, please. Jesse Cox, pay me. Someone, help. I'm so poor.
This is the reason why we have these big YouTubers that look down on people like us and say, well, bunch of peasants, because they just try to say, oh, we're taking over the scene and they just want to get paid.
Yeah, but mate, we don't clickbait.
How do you know? I may clickbait in our titles.
If you put Rice Gum and Sidemen in the title, I will actually stop being your friend and quit. I will just quit.
If it wins in the views and the money, what would you say then?
We're all getting paid, we're not partnered.
So, just monetize the video. Get 22p of 200,000 views.
Yeah, because AdSense is great, isn't it? We'll talk about that later. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, DLC.
DLC microtransactions, and should video game developers be more honest when it comes to releasing the game?
Yeah, they should, because I'm sick of being lied to by developers that are saying there's going to be lots of free stuff, and then that stuff that was going to be free they're making me pay a $5 for. Yeah, it's only a $5, but still, you told me that was going to be free.
I think that if you're going to have DLC I can't even speak, microtransactions in these games, there has to be some, not a law, but something in place to say that, okay, before you release a game, you have to tell the public what your DLC plan is and what your microtransaction plan is if you intend on having one. You can't just announce the game and say, right, no microtransactions at all in this game, then release it 3 months later, it's pay to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not uncommon for a game developer to get investigated for lying. Take Hello Games and No Man's Sky, for example. They lied about pretty much everything in that game. They bigged it up to be the most interesting game ever. It's boring as sin, and their officers actually got investigated by the police because they got
investigated by the ASA. And do you know what the result was?
Yeah.
No, it was not false advertising at all.
Oh my god! So that means EA are actually getting away with murder.
They didn't pretty much. They didn't. They looked at. I think they just looked at the advertising material. They didn't really look at what Sean Murray actually just said in interviews.
Man, it's the bloody holy trinity of liars. Sean Murray, Peter Molyneux, and that guy from Bethesda. What's his name? What's his name?
Howard.
Todd Howard. It's the holy trinity of liars. Peter Molyneux, Sean Murray, and Todd Howard. The holy trinity. It's like Todd Howard's just like, yo, pre-order my new game. What is it? It's Skyrim. And then like Peter Molyneux's like, oh yeah, my app's is going to be free and not have microtransactions in it. It's an app about walking. Every step you take, there's a microtransaction. Sean Murray, yo, there's going to be multiplayer. There's no multiplayer at all. Like they actually put a sticker over the multiplayer bit to like stop people from playing online. Like someone peeled the sticker back and was like, they covered a multiplayer. It's oh god, the holy trinity of liars.
I think the best part was when they went on Twitter like the day before it came out and just said, just to be aware, it's pretty much almost impossible, or the fact that you'll probably never be able to find someone in the universe.
Yeah, and then the game came out.
I can't remember the exact tweet.
Dude, the game came out and 2 Twitch streamers went exactly
in the same spot.
The exact coordinates to where each other were, couldn't see each other. Sean Murray tweets out, wow, on the first day, 2 people found each other.
I am so shocked. No, mate, I know why you're shocked. You're shocked at the fact that, oh shit, we've just been busted.
We've been exposed.
It's just hilarious how Hello Games literally like disappeared after the game release.
Yeah, they just completely emptied out of their offices. They've actually started patching the game now, and apparently it's actually not that much better either. So, just kill the game. Just kill it. Stop updating it. Don't work on anything else. Just quit.
I need to bring up this story. Remember when me and you were in game once, and then we had that family that was in the game, and they were saying they was picking up No Man's Sky, and us two looking like, please no, unless you want to kill yourself.
Like, I legitimately was considering going over to them, like, don't buy this game, don't support them. It's awful. Like, I was so tempted to go up to them and just, like, say, like, this is not good. Like, don't buy this.
If you want to save some money,
man.
I recommend buying Bloodborne instead of No Man's Sky.
Yeah, go buy Bloodborne! So good!
I think we need to start having commercials in our podcast, because the amount of promotion, self-promotion, not self-promotion, just promotion in general.
Man, we need to, you were on about, like, let's make some commercials, because all we do is promote other people.
All we do on a fifth of our podcast.
I don't mean to, I just like to talk nicely about things that I like. Which is why you will never hear me talk nice about Destiny.
Destiny 2.
It's the devil. So game companies do need to be more honest about microtransactions, but they won't, because they gotta line their pockets. They need to buy more Lamborghinis. EA
they
don't have
need to
enough
buy more
Lamborghinis
Lamborghinis.
Electronic Arts are not done. They will keep making you buy FIFA points. Stop. Oh man.
I think we're done for that section.
Alright, now this is a topic that I brought up.
Up until this point, I've literally done all the topics.
So let's talk about this. Are games that have a huge amount of difficulty coming back into the mainstream, or are they still considered a niche in the gaming community?
So basically, what you just said is, are high learning curve games such as Dark Souls becoming mainstream again?
Because that was the norm for like Super Nintendo, Nintendo Entertainment System, Sega Genesis, Sega Mega Drive. That was the norm. Like, games were difficult. Deal with it. You've rented this game for a weekend. You've got to finish it, buddy. Like,
You've got to finish it by the weekend.
Then. Yeah, like, you've got nothing else to play with, so you've got to play, you've got to play this super hard game, have fun. Like, that was the norm. So is that becoming a thing again? Because this year we've had Neo came out, and then you've also got games that came out last year, like Dark Souls 3 came out, DLCs for Dark Souls 3 came out, one at the tail end of last year, one this year. Like, and it just seems like more and more people are jumping on the bandwagon of difficult games. Because
what's the bandwagon on difficult games? I'm very interested.
No, that was just like me using the figure of speech of jumping on the bandwagon. Like, more people are trying out games with high learning curves. Like, the amount of people who tried out Dark Souls 3 last year is way more than the people who tried out Dark Souls 1 and 2. And
that's because obviously
way more
YouTubers, more people.
But it just seems like it just seems like they're the people who were like influencing people to try out difficult games. That's what I was trying to say. Because do you remember when Hotline Miami came out and that game's super difficult?
Mm-hmm.
When Hotline Miami came out, I think it was like PewDiePie probably played through it or something. And the amount of traction that Hotline Miami got and people actually enjoying a game with a big learning curve was massive.
I like games that have high skill gaps mainly because you're more invested in the game.
Oh, dude, I've never been more invested in a game than Bloodborne. That was the first game that, like, since when I got Dark Souls 3, that was me for a month. Like, I played that non-stop for a month. Like, the only reason I stopped was I had to go to sixth form. That was the only reason I put the controller down and turned it off.
And to go to sleep.
Like, yes, sometimes. Sometimes I would sleep.
So you're admitting that you had to stay up till very late at night just to finish off levels?
Dude, if I was in boss mode, I would just keep throwing myself at it until I got it. Like, yeah, I would disconnect from the Discord that I was in, and my friends would think I quit. No. I was up until probably like 2 a.m. on the Princess of Lothric once trying to beat it. Like, and I didn't beat it until I came home from school on that day. It was unbelievable, dude. Like, it was unbelievable. And Bloodborne, oh my god, I have so many hours in Bloodborne. That game sucked me in, just like Dark Souls 3 did, just like Dark Souls 1 did, Dark Souls 2,
What's that,
yeah, because it's not that good. Bloodborne, it's the best one. It's fantastic. I'm gushing now. What were we on about? People getting into hard games. My standpoint on it, it seems like more people are hopping on the bandwagon of hard games is so they can brag to their friends that they've beaten Dark Souls. Because that was a thing for the longest time. Like, there's a guy who was in my sixth form. Like, he would come up to me like, dude, how do you play Dark Souls? It's so difficult. I can't beat the second boss. I'm just like, I just play until I beat stuff.
I just did it.
I just did it. Yeah, I used my mind. I assessed the situation. Sometimes I would just go blind rage at it because I'd be on it for a few hours. But I calm myself down, use my brain, maybe summon someone to help me if it was needed. Like,
games are a lot more rewarding if it's got a high skill gap.
Yeah, because Call of Duty campaign, you're not beating a level mat and going like, yes, that was so difficult. You're just like, man, I'm so glad I have my Doritos next to me while doing this.
I feel, like, and also games that have high skill gaps, you end up playing for a lot longer because you say to yourself, right, I'm going to get home today and I'm going to improve my skill in whatever and I'm going to try and finally beat that level boss.
Like, do you remember when like we were just talking and I was playing through the Battlefield 4 campaign because I'd never played it before. I only played the multiplayer in Battlefield 4.
Yeah, you was just like, oh shit! I think we just invaded China.
Yeah. I wasn't talking about that. That was just cutscenes.
No, that's all I remember of it.
No, but do you remember how I literally blew through that entire campaign in one day?
It was a speed run.
No, it wasn't a speed run, but
it
it was pretty quick. It took me about 6 hours to do. Like, that... And I was playing on my hardest difficulty. Like, come on!
Because they tell you exactly what you need to do, so you just follow the instructions.
Yeah, that's literally it. Like, the only thing I had trouble on was the tank bit. And that's only because that was just down to poor design on their part. Like, you can't blame it. It's very difficult to blame your deaths in Souls games and the games like Neo and Bloodborne to bad game design, because those games are designed to mess you about. The enemy placement is strategic. Like, they're trying to frustrate you. They're trying to make your experience difficult, but still fun in the process. Which is why Bloodborne's best! Like, to get... It's so much more rewarding when you play a difficult game. So it just seems to me that more people are jumping on the bandwagon of difficult games because they want the satisfaction of doing something that's difficult in a video game for the first time in probably 20 years. Because like when Demon's Souls came out, like there was a small number of people who played it because obviously it was the first Souls game, and yeah, it wasn't marketed very well by From Software at all because it was made in part with From Software and Atlas. Then just before that game came out, Atlas and From Software fell out or something. It was advertised poorly. Not many people bought it on the PS3, but the people who did got lots of satisfaction from it because it was a big and difficult game. Then Dark Souls came out and completely changed the gaming landscape. Like, that game for a good solid year was just making people be like, wow, difficult games still exist, you've just got to look for them.
You keep talking about Dark Souls.
Yeah, because that's the main catalyst of what's making people get into hard games.
But hard
games,
most
mainstream one.
We've seen hard games have always been mainstream. It's just the quantity has shrunk.
And also the fan base for it has shrunk as well because so many people are used to just having stuff handed to them in video games.
However, what would you class as a game that has a high learning curve, and you're saying that more people are trying out hard games? Because if you look at MOBAs, they're not exactly very easy to play. You can't just pick it up and then destroy people and get a pentakill.
Well, no, obviously not. But that's different. There is a learning curve in that, but that's PvP. You're only as good as the people you play against.
Single player or co-op.
Yeah. I'm not talking about... Right. Games like Dota 2, Heroes of the Storm, League of Legends, that's different because that's PvP. Because you're not the enemy's only as difficult as their skill level. If you're playing against a team that are all like not even bronze 5, just only just become level 30, you're probably going to stomp a mud hole in them. But if you're playing against a team that are all Master Tiers or Diamond 1s or Challenger, yeah, you're going to get demolished. You're only as good. The team's only as good as their
However, it's
level.
similar like Dark Souls, where I need to improve in certain areas to then beat people that are better than me.
Yes, but you're against a CPU.
I'm talking more about MOBAs.
Oh, right, okay. I thought you were talking about Dark Souls, and you said, but in Dark Souls you do this.
Yeah, I was comparing it to Dark Souls, as in the way that you have to improve in certain areas to then become a better player.
Oh, yeah, I can see that, yeah.
So, to wrap this up then, are high learning curve games such as Dark Souls basically becoming more popular?
I'm not saying that they haven't been out of the mainstream for a while, it's just since Dark Souls 3's event, there has been such a resurgence in high learning curve based games. Like, recently a game called The Surge came out. It's Dark Souls but in space. Wow! Like, stuff like that now. I mean, I don't think it's in space. I think he plays like a cyborg or something. It looks spacey. It looks good as well. I really want to play it. But I'm not saying they haven't been out of the limelight for a while. I'm just saying that it seems that developers are realizing people want a challenge. And if they make a game like that, they'll probably make a bit of money off it. And I'm not talking about the Dark Souls 2 challenge where, LOL, you can't see the enemies running at you. Oh, you're dead. Haha! Because that's not fun.
It is if you're a developer.
I hate From Software's B team.
Well, they could be making Dark Souls 4. Because you got.
Oh no, there isn't going to be. There's not going to be a Dark Souls 4. Dark Souls 3 is the last one, buddy.
Oh, so what's happening afterwards?
Dude, I hope. As much as I'd want a Bloodborne 2, it wouldn't make much sense considering how all 3 endings go, like 3 or 4 endings go for Bloodborne. But I wouldn't be against that. But even if they made a new Armored Core, that'd be cool. But I think what they're doing is a new IP, which would be cool. And if it's a Souls-like IP, then that's even better because that's my shit.
No, I can definitely see them making more sort of RPG style games, kind of like Dark Souls, but it's just a different story.
Yeah, it'll just be a different thing, and hopefully it's just as vague as the Dark Souls story because that's how I like it.
Okay, let's move on to our final topic of the roundtable. That is Twitch,
which is another one that I came up with. Woo!
Is Twitch taking over the internet gaming scene?
I think yes. What do you think?
Yes. Okay, that is it. That is.
Well, that's it then. No, I brought this up because the amount of people who I used to watch on YouTube, who have moved over to streaming on Twitch. It's so many people who have moved over to Twitch, like just doing Twitch, like Strippin. You know who Strippin is, right?
Yeah, you mention it to me every single flipping day. Of course, I know who he is.
Well, he used to be in the Yogscast. He left the Yogscast and he did his own stuff for a while. And now he's just completely moved on to streaming on Twitch, it looks like, because he hasn't uploaded on his YouTube channel in about 5 months. Who else could... what's another example? I'm trying to think of examples. FIFA YouTuber, Fangs. You might know who that is, I don't know. She still uploads on YouTube a bit, but on her vlogging, talking channel. She doesn't really do much on her main channel anymore, it doesn't look like, apart from reactions to all of this fake Sidemen stuff that's going on right now, which I have no time for. She just streams FIFA and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds on Twitch. That's all I see from her now. Who else? Dodger, she says she still does a gaming news show on her channel and an anime news show on her main YouTube channel. She hasn't uploaded on it. She hasn't uploaded on it in nearly 2 months. The only thing she uses her second channel for now is uploading her Twitch VODs.
Basically, gross score.
Do you see where gross score? So
that's what he mostly
does.
He streams on Twitch, and then he just uploads videos of the highlights.
But that's different though, because gross score.
He's always been a Twitch streamer.
Yeah, he just uses his YouTube to
But why is this happening? Is it because Twitch provides a better service than YouTube?
Well, I think people are just realizing that live streaming can be more fun than
It's a lot more engaging, isn't
doing
it?
a YouTube video. Yeah, you engage your audience more. Like you're playing a game, you read chat, you say hi to people who watch you.
Yeah. People donate and stuff, and they read out those donations.
People are getting more money from Twitch than ever. Because now there's so many more ways for people to subscribe to channels. Like there's Twitch Turbo, Twitch Prime.
And streaming has gotten so much easier as well.
There's now, they've added 3 different tiers of subscriptions on Twitch now. There's still the $4.99 sub, right? There's now a $10 Twitch subscription and a $24.99 Twitch subscription.
$24.99.
Like, you must love someone a lot if you're gonna give them $24.99 a month. Plus VAT.
What about when people donate like £1,000?
No, but that's always fake because they always refund it just after
No,
the
there have
notification
been a
goes up on the
few
stream.
genuine.
Well, obviously, there are people who love them. Well, there's now 2 different ways you can donate on Twitch now as well. Have you seen do you watch Twitch streams regularly?
No.
Well, I watch one every day now.
Yeah.
Because it's more entertaining than YouTube, honestly. Because I get to interact with people in chat as well. Like we get good conversations going and stuff. It's a brilliant time. There's now you can now use bits to donate. Like you can buy bits on Twitch and then you donate using bits instead of just donating using straight money donations. And that supports Twitch and it supports the streamer, which is brilliant. Win-win for everyone. You get to support your favorite streamer and you get to support the website who helps support your favorite streamer, and then they can make their service better. It's a win-win-win-win-win. It's brilliant.
Can I make this point? Why are we still on YouTube? Come on, mate.
Why are we still on YouTube?
Let's just move over to Twitch. Why don't we?
Dude, no one's gonna watch us on Twitch.
Don't know. Could get a few comments.
We haven't got enough followers to actually dude, I would love to live stream this podcast, right?
It would be a lot more entertaining.
So basically, I think Twitch in the long run is gonna benefit from this because it's gonna have an influx of way more people watching streams. And it's going to be good for the people who do stream because they're going to be able to make a lot more money. Because, you can support them just by watching their YouTube videos. But then there's ad block, which stops any AdSense coming through. So, even though you have ad block on Twitch, you can still have support coming through from subscribers and people donating money or people donating their bits to you. So, all in all, I think Twitch is a lot better than YouTube right now.
YouTubers tend to be a lot more open on Twitch as well.
Because I've got the Twitch app open right now, right? They've just made this huge change to the Twitch .tv app, right? They've made it so it's not just a Discord clone. You've now got the entirety of the Twitch website on here, and you can watch Twitch streams on the Twitch app without having to open your browser. That's brilliant. Like, I now don't have to open Chrome, go to the Twitch website. I could just have Twitch open when Windows starts up, and I can just go and straight up watch, like, the Capcom Pro Tour Japan Cup 2017.
That sounds a little bit like the YouTube app.
But it's brilliant. They've made their content.
It's brilliant, yeah.
They've made their content way more accessible like YouTube's been doing for so long. It's great that Twitch is finally getting the attention it deserves, because I've been a long-time supporter of Twitch. A long-time supporter, and I'm really happy that it's finally getting its day.
In conclusion, do you feel that maybe the Twitch will be the new sort of YouTube gaming scene in the future?
Yeah. I like to think so, because basically you can never miss a Twitch stream, because when there's a stream, if it's not got any copyrighted music in it or any racial language in it, there's a video on demand, and I can go right now to let me go to someone's channel.
And the good news is as well is even if you I can't even speak. Even if you miss the stream, you can just go and watch it afterwards.
Yeah,
because it just comes out as a video.
Because you can just I'm on Dodger's Twitch channel right now, right? Okay. I'm on her channel right now. Obviously, she's offline. There's nothing on. There's chat stuff. I'm subscribed, and video. You go to videos.
Yes.
And look at all these VODs that you can just sit and watch for hours. There's so many hours of entertainment on here. Why is this not getting more attention? Like,
well, it is getting the attention according to you.
What? Yeah, but it is. But it deserves way more. There's 7-hour VODs, 5-hour VODs. There's so much entertainment here.
I feel that if more gaming YouTubers actually migrate over to Twitch, the people will follow. So it's just a question of how many more YouTubers switch over to Twitch is the answer.
I don't know. Oh my god, the Tekken World Tour's on. Oh, that's going to be
Tekken World Tour.
Oh, yeah.
And that means we'll have to obviously round up
That's the end of the 10th episode
that is the signal
of the Flashbang Gaming Podcast. Thank you for listening to us talk absolute bollocks for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I've been Edward McDougall. You can follow me on Twitter at EdMcDougall99. And who've you been? God, you're so bad.
No, usually you say, and you can follow Joe where? At Joe_LGC. There you go.
There we go. What's your name?
What do you mean, what's my name?
Say my name. Oh, this is the worst outro we've ever done. I've been Edward, that's been Joe. This has been the 10th installment of the Flashbang Gaming Podcast. Join us next week for more horrible content. We're awful. Thanks for listening.
We are rubbish. We need to just change.
Maybe there'll be a video on that next week.
Maybe. We shall see you later. Goodbye. This is FGP.